I'm going to break this down. So this is, like I said, this is Celerity's M1, Halo Reach Montage 1, and I'm just going to break it down, kind of go over it. There's not a ton to talk about really in this video as far as my editing goes, but I'll still break it down. So right from the start, I'll make this full screen. Right from the start, I wanted to do something kind of different with the intro. So I thought of this idea of having the same movement of whatever the character was doing, but have it on different maps. So there are 5 different maps here where I just capped myself sprinting. Now the problem here was that no matter what, there's always going to be some sort of inconsistency because the ground is different every time, and the way this game has been made is they add some like bumping or some distortion whenever you aren't running on a flat surface. So you can see right here, it's not perfectly lined up, but I did my best. At least I think I did my best. I'm guessing people can do it better, but sometimes it looks really good like this. I thought about just masking out the sniper, but to be honest, I think it looks good here. So yeah, I just made masks, rectangular masks for each map, and then I added some color hues, some twitch, and then this is actually a really cool effect because all it is a 4-color gradient that I added an effect called CC ball action, which is a pretty common effect on After Effects. Don't know how long I can hang out. We'll definitely watch later when I'm free though, man. I got a few minutes though. Okay, sounds good. I'll try my best. You could mask it, but then it would take too long. Yeah, but it's just an animated ball action effect. It's really not as complicated as some people might think, but I still think it did the job. It added to the song, or the sound effect at the beginning of the song to me. But yeah, so I did it horizontally, then I changed it to vertically just to add some dimension to it. And then one thing, and the reason I got this idea was actually I was watching these CGI guys. Excuse me. I was watching these CGI guys look at certain VFX shots in movies and stuff like that, and they were looking at 2008 Transformers. And one thing they were saying is, even though now it doesn't look as good, in 2008 it looked really good, and it was kind of this sort of CGI manipulation where the metal of the Transformers would almost unfold on themselves. So I kind of got that idea, and then I stumbled across some weird origami animation thing where it folded over each other. So I got this idea to fold this me walking on Asylum into the letter D to get to the start of like AA Presents. So I picked a text that kind of had some pretty easy shapes. I guess easy shapes. It's not perfect by any means, and if you look at it slow motion, it's not it's not perfect really at all. But I think it's the speed that helps, I guess, make the effect work. So when you watch it back, and I think it really added to the drums there. So I thought that was a really cool effect. It kept in line with the rest of the intro, so I think it worked. But I pretty much just took masks of this Asylum thing and then folded it over each other, so it kind of has that origami / Transformers feel a little bit. But yeah, then we get to the intro. Yo, what's up, Alivity? Oh shit, you edited another Taj. I gotta watch this in full real quick. Sounds good. Alivity, it's only 5 minutes, so you should be back pretty soon. But yeah, definitely go check it out. Show Ryan some love. So I wanted to play around with colors a little bit, so we got that nice purple sky that I just added some hue to. This text was using a turbulent noise block. Fairly simple, not too super complicated, but I added a time expression to have the blocks move around a little bit, and then I added some different type of turbulent noise of some like dynamic. I don't exactly remember what it was, but it pretty much has this more kind of silk or clothy feel that I just put around the text. And then here I manipulated some of the warping. I added a turbulent effect and some curves adjustments, and then did a little mass transition. So you can kind of see right here, you see a little fade right here. Let me move this out of the way. Right here, you see a little fade from Asylum to Tempest, and then out we are on Tempest. I changed the colors a little bit here too. It kind of messes with the back effect, but I still think it worked. So we've got Celerity, added a nice little effect there. And then all of this was a time remapped to kind of go with it, go with the song. Same thing here. Added some green color because I thought it looked really cool, and it kind of added. One of the themes I tried to go for a little bit was green and purple, because that's kind of a common theme for kind of the electronic or retro style. I guess not retro style, because retro style is more blue and purple, but you kind of understand what I mean. But I changed the colors of the trees here so they're all green. Actually, I was surprised when I did this. If this was touched up a little more, I think this would be a really cool version of Beaver Creek if the trees were green instead of the yellowish orange that they are. But anyway, then we get to the actual clips. And by the way, as per usual, when I don't have, or when they're not my clips, I'm not going to go into the clips that much. I'm going to go into the edit mainly. But I will go into a few clips at the end because I know Selerity wanted me to show some things, but I didn't. So I'll go over that later. But I will say, for the edit, as far as effects and stuff goes, I think everyone can tell I didn't go super hard on the actual effects of like shots and stuff. Like right here, this is a pretty good... It's really loud. Actually, I'm just going to mute it. This is a really good drop point, or a point to sync your final shot on. But as you can see, I didn't add any effect there. Kind of because I used this video to kind of experiment to see what works, what doesn't. I especially experimented with angles, but that's why there's not that many heavy effects on some of the shots, because I just wanted to see if it's really necessary to put some of those effects there. But so yeah, a lot of these first couple clips don't have a ton of editing as far as effects. I added some Twitch to kind of add the... There's like this weird, not twitchy sound, but a weird sound that works with the Twitch that happens a lot during the song. But we kind of just scrub through, sync those shots there. One thing too, I kind of messed up here, I'll be honest. I didn't even realize the guy that you killed was pink. I thought he was standard, so that's kind of a mistake, but it's alright. I did record all these angles myself, so that was one other thing I tried to experiment with. I tried to see what I could pull off with just myself, because some of the angles were pretty tricky in here, I will be honest. But let's see what else is there. This is a really nice shot from Selerity. This effect was actually just a... I think it was a fast blur, or maybe it was a light burst. I'm not really sure. It was an AE effect, and I just expanded the hell out of it. And then I messed with blending modes and did a circle mask to kind of add this cool, weird, trippy effect, because that's how the song played. If you go back and watch the video, you'll know what I mean. But that's a nice shot. I really like this transition. It's not perfect, but I like that it just... Since he's moving to the left, the angle moves to the left, and then the transition is also to the left, right there. This was kind of an experimental angle, not as proud of it as I thought, but as you can see, I did my switch to POV thing and tried to fake it a little bit, and it wasn't perfect, but it did the job. Right here, I'm not going to play the song, but I added some like slow motion thing because the angle I originally had right here wasn't working, so I decided to just slow it down and make it a slow-mo because I have the 60 FPS. And I think that worked out. Some more Twitch effects. One thing I'm really proud of here is just that this angle is both of me. It's literally just me shooting a guy with a rocket, or shooting like another controller with a rocket, and then trying to look like I'm looking for the Tross. So I was just happy that, you know, you could see two different Spartans moving, but it was just me. I don't know, I'm proud of that for some reason. But got a nice Tross here. And then really liked the sync on this clip. I thought it worked out really well. Added a few little glows and fast blurs on here, but I think that worked out well too. Gotta go, dude, but again, can't thank you enough. You absolutely killed this. Such a pleasure working with you. We'll 100% watch this later. Sound good, Selerity. Have a good one. Congrats on your release. Guys, again, if anyone has just joined the stream, definitely go check out Celerity's Taj that I have edited that was released today. So definitely go check it out. It's on my channel right now. Damn, those clips started off super chill and towards the end shit was popping off. Yeah. Yes. Celerity, he has some nice clips. He surprised me. Well, not surprised. You know what I mean. I knew he had some good clips, but he had some straight bangers. But yeah, continuing on. Again, fairly basic syncing for the most part. Not really that many effects here. Tried to mess with the slow-mo a little bit. I will say a lot of these clips were DVR clips, so I actually couldn't slow-mo too much without making it really distorted, but I still think that worked. Really like this. It's such a simple transition, but it goes with the song if you listen to it, and it fits with the intro, which, by the way, the intro was the first thing I did, so that works out really well too. Again, more syncing with a little bit of twitchiness here and there. This was another experimental angle. It kind of worked, kind of didn't for me. I wasn't super happy with it, but I was super happy with this. This is actually a completely still shot that I cropped and keyframed, and it actually turned out really well. It's just a speed up sync. You can see right here, he's kind of running normal, and then he speeds up a lot, added some black flashes, and there's a nice lens flare or sun flare, whatever you want to call it, right there. And then another switch to POV worked a little better than the other one, I think. You can see the cut is right there, but I think it worked, especially with some motion blur. So I was actually really happy with this angle. It's just nothing super special about it. It was just really clean. Anyway, moving along some more. I really liked the sync on this stick exterm. I thought it was a really cool sync, personally. Again, as far as my editing, there's really not that much to say, to be honest. I kind of tried to experiment with some angles and stuff, but I kind of just let the gameplay shine for what it was. I did try a little transition here where it zooms in, and as he punches, it goes to the double, which is in a completely different spot. I think if I gave it a little more time, it would have worked a little bit better, but I think I like the idea. I will say, guys, as far as everything except Juggernaut, I think this is technically the first Nair on Anchor 9. I have a Juggernaut Nair, but I don't think anyone's ever hit a non-Juggernaut or I don't think I've seen a Nair on this map besides the one that Selerity hit. So even with just shotgun, pretty much, that's a pretty unique clip. Moving on some more. Again, pretty basic editing here. I don't think I really did anything to this clip because this is the slow part of the song. This is a really nice boomball nair. As you guys know, there's not very many boomball nairs. I think Selerity and I are the only ones who actually have one, unless I'm completely forgetting someone, and if I am, I apologize. But this is a really nice nair. I kind of thought I needed some sort of breakdown after the POC to like lead to the nair shot, and I was thinking it'd be kind of cool for any boomball clip. One of my favorite effects from Memories was adding the colors in between the reflection nair and just the sync of the reflection nair in general. So I thought I'd kind of keep that trend. So you'll notice that a lot of the color effects are very similar. They're not exactly the same, but they're very similar to the effects I used in Memories. And then we've got a nice little kind of just glow and some cropping. I think it was a little bit of a warp. And then here, this is by far my favorite effect in the entire video. I think it's definitely the part of the video I put the most work in. And it's this little verses thing. And the reason why this is here is because he actually, I'm sorry if I'm exposing you, Selerity, but he actually shoots his last rocket shot and then no-scopes him. And as far as syncing and editing is concerned, I just didn't want to show that. So I Twixtered it and then covered the rocket shot up with this verses. And at first, I wasn't really sure how I felt about this because I liked it. I liked the puppet on here because these are puppet shots. And if you don't know what puppet is, it's pretty easy. It's pretty much just a still image that I've kind of manipulated like a puppet. You get it. But I wasn't loving it. And what I realized, the thing that sold it was actually the lively cropping. Because originally, these guys were just coming, the red guy was coming on this diagonal half of the screen, and the blue guy was coming on this diagonal half of the screen. And they were both moving separately in their own puppets. But it was when I actually, you know, zoomed in and rotated near the blue guy and then moved up and rotated near the red guy, if that makes sense. That's what really sold it. And when you watch it in real time, this is a little too far back, but it's okay. But if you watch it in real time, I think just the motion is really what made it work for me. So I'm really happy with that. Definitely my favorite effect of the video. But I wanted to include, because Selerity is now pretty much known as the guy who hit all the condemned exterms. Like, seriously. He is the only one who I know who has this many condemned exterms. Good or bad condemned exterms. He's the only one I know. Very few people actually have condemned exterms. So I wanted to put most of his exterms kind of back to back just to kind of showcase that. So that's why there's 3 of them here. I was actually going to include a 4th one, which is actually in the credits, but there were 2 reasons why I didn't put that. The first one is that you could see his gamer tag on it, which he's not scared to show his gamer tag, but you'll see it in a minute. But the other reason was that one of the last clips he hit was this POC, and I needed to fit the POC in the song, and we weren't going to do a second song. So now here, with this POC, actually, I'll do the editing first. I'll just say this had a very experimental angle, and I liked my idea right here, but I don't think it worked the way I thought it would, because it's like he's following the camera looking at it. I think the reason it didn't work is, first, right here you can see he's looking this way. He's looking toward the building, and here he's looking straight at the camera. I think the other reason was that since I staged this, there weren't any dead bodies behind us or behind him, so, you know, but I think people kind of got what I was trying to do, and I think hopefully that's why they like it. But as an editor, you know, I'm always trying to try new things, and I don't know if it worked. So, but I wanted to say one thing about this this POC is he wanted me to show this, but oh shit, I didn't name it. I didn't name all these clips. Is it this one? Yeah, it is. But for the sake of the video and the flow and syncing, I decided not to include it. But he wanted me to show you guys this just really fast. This is what happened after the POC. You hate to see it. You really hate to see it. He was inches or centimeters. If he had shot 1, maybe 2 frames earlier, that would have been a no-scope POC to no-scope nair. Actually, was it a quick-scope POC? Quick-scope POC to no-scope nair on Beaver. He was that close. You really hate to see it. What's nice is you did get to see the choke on this Beaver clip. I just want to say, too, as you guys know, the switch to POV is kind of one of my new trademarks now. Just because it's so hard to do staging angles, so it's kind of now it's almost a new art form to do the switch to POV. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's right here where it's in the angle and you're switching, or you're trying to switch back right to the where the gameplay starts. The problem is when you're staging angles, you can't do that as well. But I was really happy with this one. So, but then you see the puck again, not very many effects here. It's kind of just syncing and showing the gameplay, which honestly I think for this video was fine. It's all it needed. But I still added a little bit of a glow, a few other little effects there. And then we have a nice little fade out as we see him choke yet another nair. That hurts watching? Yeah, it does. And then credits. I just wanted to show a few clips that he sent me that I wasn't able to include. One of them was this nice Penance Exterm. The other one, right here, this is probably his best condemned Exterm. But he left the theater stuff on, and he felt really bad because he's like, I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, but yeah, so I wanted to put it in the credits because that's the only version he has, unfortunately, but it's all good. So I just did a simple rolling credits, the text from the beginning, music on the left, and then in the background it's the exact same effect, literally the exact same effect from the beginning. I just slowed down the animation a ton, changed some of the parameters a little bit, and then graded out a little bit to kind of keep consistency a little bit. And then it pretty much fades out at the end. And that's pretty much Celerity's Halo Reach Montage 1. So yeah.